This is a message to any of you who is feeling guilty, who is feeling shame, and that shame, that guilt is keeping you away from God. The other day, I had an interesting experience which I want to share with you. The last couple of weeks, I have been home, and it has been incredible. But one of the things that happened while I was away is that one of my neighbors lost the wife. And I got to know about it, but I was not able to be as present as I wanted to because of the time difference, and also being home, there's so much to do within a very short time. And I remember when I got back and he saw me getting into the house, and he comes running literally, and it's like, Grace, come, we need to catch up. And I remember walking into his doorstep, and I was so guilty. Like, I think that was the longest 30 seconds I've ever walked, because I was guilty. I was feeling so bad, and I was feeling like I do not deserve for him to be that excited about seeing me, or even welcoming me to his home, because he did. And we sat down and we had this amazing conversations. And I remember that night thinking through the whole thing, and God putting it in my heart that, Grace, this is how my relationship with you looks like sometimes. Because my neighbor did not expect me to earn, sitting at the table with him to have a meal. He didn't have these expectations. He just was excited to see me, and opened his home to me and opened his heart to me, And that is how sometimes I walk with God. That is what God put in my heart. Like, this is how you walk with me, because you feel like you have to earn the right to sit with me, to sit in my presence and to bask in it, to even pray to me sometime. And this is just an encouragement to someone out there, because sometimes as believers, there's something you're struggling with. It could be lying, it could be sexual sins, it could be so many things. Every time you fall, you stay there, you stay outside, away from God. And we have this idea that I'll deal with it first, then when I'm perfect, I'll come into God's presence. But God, we don't earn the right to sit with him. We don't earn it by our own efforts. It's so hard to get to that level. But God is like, come, let's deal with it together. And when I think of it, I think of the son who in the Bible, in the parable, the son who went and wasted his share, his inheritance. And when he comes back, the Bible says the father runs to meet him. He does not, look at him and like, oh my goodness, I cannot deal with you. You have not earned the right to be my son. He comes and he embraces him. And that's the image I would like us to have of God. A God who has his arms open, ready to receive us into his presence and to welcome him into his presence. Because sometimes we feel like, oh God, I haven't prayed enough this week, so I don't deserve to go before God. I haven't read the word enough, so I don't deserve to be in his presence. But I want you to know that his arms are open, and whatever you are dealing with, bring it at the table with him. Bring it at the feet of Jesus. Let him help you walk through it, because by your own power, you cannot. But when you welcome him into the situation, be like, God, this is what I am struggling with. In fact, yesterday, this and this happened, and I am not proud of it, but my heart desires to honor you, so help me to walk through this. And he comes and he walks you through it. I want you to know that his arms are open. His arms are open to receive you. And do not let guilt and shame keep you away from his presence, because it doesn't get better when you stay away from him. It doesn't. But the more you walk with him, the more he works on whatever you're struggling with, and it becomes easier to overcome it. But when you stay away, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. So this is a message to any of you who is feeling guilty, who is feeling shame, and that shame, that guilt is keeping you away from God. I want you to know that his arms are open. You know, in the book of Lamentations 3:22, the Bible says that his mercies are new every morning. He's ready, he's waiting for you. You just need to walk into his presence, pray to him, go to him and be like, God, you know, this is what I've done and I'm not proud of it, but I want you to walk with me through it. Because sometimes we feel like God is keeping a spiritual scorecard of how well we are doing. And that is not God. Yes, there's a level of holiness that he expects from us, but whenever we fall, let's not stay there for too long. Let's come back to his presence.